Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski. On this podcast, we talk about ways for you to grow in your life and your business to get more sales, to increase your impact, to increase your income, and to live a bigger and better life like the one that you dream of, and how to bring your dreams into your present reality. Strategies, action steps, tips, and tricks that you can apply. And part of what I'm going to talk about today is the fact that you do not have to do everything perfect to be successful. And that our need for knowing everything before we get started, having all the right pieces in order, having everything perfectly arranged before we take action, complaining when things aren't going how we think they should, and trying to control how things happen is actually what puts us into a cycle of not reaching our goals. We go into this cycle of feeling like we're doing all the right things, feeling like we're taking all the right actions, when in fact we are actually doing the very opposite, taking all the wrong actions because of our need to do everything right, to do everything perfectly. And we become critical of ourselves, of how things play out, the engagement we get on social media, the response that we get from people, the potential of what might happen this way or that way, the worry that if we make a mistake, it's all going to come crashing down and burn and end. And so that's what I want to talk about today, is just kind of breaking out of that so that you can start taking actions imperfectly. Me in my life, I've been a major perfectionist, needing to do everything perfect for the longest time. And I finally had kind of a light bulb moment go off recently, as I've been doing a lot of personal development work. I've been getting a lot of help, going through some therapy, and learning what isn't working in my life. And a big part of it was I felt powerless in so many different areas, that I was trying to control and make everything in my business go perfectly. And that was the worst possible thing that I could have done. And so the best thing to do is to say, I'm going to go out there, give it my best shot, regardless of if all the pieces are together, regardless of if everything is perfectly organized and arranged and put together. You know, I've been working on a course. It's been taking me a couple of months, and I decided, I was like, you know what? I think my audience would rather I came out with a couple courses during that time than having this perfectly put together course. Now, sure, I may have one or two people that follow me that say, no, that perfectly put together course is much better than having a lot more courses. I disagree with that. And so I've made a decision. You know what? I'm going to start to roll out a couple more courses here over the next couple of months that have meaty content that are going to help you get results in your business. And I've seen this same scenario play out in the clients that I coach, the companies that I consult, is that we get so stuck on doing everything excellently and doing it well and doing a good job at things that we spin around in the cycle of perfect activities. We spin around in the cycle of needing to make everything perfect. And what we have to do is make a decision that that's no longer an option, that perfection is no longer an option in our businesses, in the way that we structure our actions, that we're going to give it our best, even if we don't know what to do. And that's what I want to talk about today specifically, is giving it your best, taking action, even when you don't know what to do, jumping out of the plane and building the parachute as you come down. This is a skill set that you have to develop. And it's one of the most powerful skill sets that determine whether you are going to be successful in business or somebody that just wishes they were successful and will constantly keep struggling. You have to take a leap. You have to jump. You have to fire towards the goal that you're going after and figure it out as you go. Figure it out as you get there. You are never going to have all the pieces perfectly put together. That's a crutch looking for safety and security in something that you think is how it should go, but it's actually keeping you spinning in a cycle of frustration, disappointment, things not working out. You try to get into the ads manager and you can't figure it out. And so you get so frustrated because you don't have it figured out, because everything else in your life has always come so easily to you. Or you feel like, unless I know everything, I'm not safe, and I have to know everything and explain it perfectly to be good enough. Or I can't take actions until I have all the right pieces together. Or I shouldn't do anything until I have it all figured out. Those positions are all rooted in fear and pride together. Fear that if we take the wrong actions, everything's going to break and blow up and you're going to ruin something because of that. It's the focus on the wrong things. We have to get our focus off of what we are afraid of and onto what our goal is. What's your goal? Impacting people with your course about trauma. What's your goal? Getting people to buy your water filtration system. What's your goal? To build a sustainable business for your family. Instead of focusing so much of your energy on what's not working out for you, what's not going how you want it to, being so focused on what's outside of your control and the need to control and make everything perfectly go in your world how you think it should. That's a big one right there, is that when we're trying to control exactly how things happen in every aspect of our life, we get distracted by the need to control everything. And so we have to lay down and lay aside that need for total control in our businesses. We have to lay down and aside that need to make everything work out how we see it, because we're too attached to the vision of the process. We can see the end goal. We're creating that. And I'm all about, you create a vision, you go after it, and you build it. Now, how do you do that without being so stuck in control? Let me explain that to you. Because if you're not in control, how's it going to ever happen, right? If you're not taking action, how's it ever going to happen? It's where we're having control over the overall direction, but we remove control over the process. We give up the need to make every little step go perfectly how we feel it should to feel safe. And we allow, okay, if something plays out totally differently than how I think it should, that's perfectly okay. I'm going to make the best of it today. In business, things are never going to go how you think they should. The world in business is changing. Your market is changing. Social media changes on a daily and weekly basis. You have no control over any of those aspects. And anybody that tells you that you can is lying to you. There's not possible to control what is outside of your control. So we have to get that out of our minds, that it is even possible. Once we detach from that, we detach from the need to make the process look exactly how we saw it. Well, I'm going to have to go these steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 in the right order. And if I skip to step 3, well, that's not right. What if you have everything figured out for step 3 in the process? You can get that ready and prepared and then go to step 1 and 2. Oftentimes we procrastinate because we're trying to make our process so perfect so that we feel good, so that we get a gold star about, okay, I did everything in the perfect right little process order. I did everything in the perfect little right way that I should. So if it didn't work out, then it must be something else, not me. It gives us an opportunity to scapegoat our results onto something else or someone else other than ourselves. Well, the reason I'm not successful is because they didn't do what they should. And so it's a root of projecting what we should personally be taking ownership of in our lives, our choices, our actions, our decisions, and putting them onto another person, saying it's their fault that I can't get leads in my business. It's their fault that my Facebook ads aren't working. It's their fault that I can't seem to figure out Squarespace or WordPress or get these videos done on time. It's not my fault. It's somebody else's. And so this whole process of scapegoating the results, needing to control everything, and needing to put all the pressure off of us and onto another person for why everything's not working out the way that it should, creates the cycle of insanity where we keep trying to get a different result by doing the same thing. And so you have to break that. You have to, first off, recognize that you're doing it and decide to do something else. You're not going to solve the current problems that you have today with the same things that created those problems. And so the only thing that's going to help you is take total and complete ownership over every single thing that is going on in my life and in my business. By the way, not other people. What's going on in my life has nothing to do with other people whatsoever. We have to get that out of our head, that other people are responsible for how we feel, our decisions, what's going on around us. Nobody is responsible for any of that but you. Okay? And so you have to decide to take complete ownership over what's going on in your world, what's going on around you, yourself. And the way we do this is we detach from needing to control other people. We take back that ownership, because otherwise, if we're scapegoating it and blaming somebody else, we're essentially trying to make them do what they should instead of focusing on what do I need to do personally, myself, to do what I should, and not worry about what another person is doing. Okay? So in your business activities, in your business goals, it's not your job to make sure that everything else around you is going perfectly how it should. It's not. You can't control what your family members are doing, what your maybe your boss, if you're still working a job. You can't control what even your customers are going to do. You can't. Now, you want to learn what their patterns are so that you can help them understand you. That's a place of taking personal ownership over your world, getting better at your people skills, your ability to communicate and connect with other people on a deep, personal, intimate, authentic, genuine, close proximity level. And ultimately, this is what I'm trying to get to here, is that when you start letting people into your world in business, letting them get close to you, you're not going to have control over what any of those people do, and that's by design. And so the more that we try to resist this, that we try to make everything go the way that we think it should in our business, to control the world around us, to control what's going on, we lose the opportunities that are right in front of us. The opportunity to take action, to become disciplined towards our goals, to put our head down and to build something regardless of how my neighbor across the street's going to judge me, or my friend at church, or my family members, or how somebody on social media is going to think about the actions that I do. We can no longer allow other people's opinions of what we do to keep us doing and staying in the old cycle. As soon as you can break this right here, everything is going to open up for you, because you're going to be able to choose, this is what I'm doing for myself, my business, the business that I'm building, that's going to create results. I don't need to please and make anybody else around me happy in that process. And so we have to detach from the belief that I'm responsible for other people's emotions and they're responsible for mine. Okay? And the reason I'm talking about this is because I know that a lot of the people that I've coached, that I've worked with, have dealt with, this is what's called codependency. codependency, where we believe that other people are responsible to care for how we feel. And that's one of the biggest lies that our world creates. Absolutely, I care about how you feel, but I'm not there to change how you feel. There's a difference here. We stop being so focused on trying to make anybody do what they should, trying to make anybody around us take the actions and be a different way, and we just focus on ourselves and modeling what we are going after. Now, how does this apply to business? If our beliefs are that we can make a customer buy from us, that we can get somebody to buy from us, that we can control the decisions of another person to buy from us, we're going to be operating out of that same paradigm. So you have to break that thinking entirely. A great book on this is Keep Your Love On by Danny Silk. Okay? It's all about that process. In business and in sales, you want your customers to make the decision for themselves to buy what they want. Your customers are leading you on what products to create, what to roll out. Your goal is not to lead them to do what you think is best for them. Instead, it's driven by what is the market wanting? What are they engaging with the most? And so then you start to deliver what they want, and in there you give people what they need. I'm going to say that again. You deliver to your customers what they want. You become obsessed with who they are, what drives them, what keeps them up at night, what they care about. And you deliver what your target customers want, and inside of that, you can give what they need to get from where they are to where they want to be. I know that many of you right now listening to this podcast want to have a business that's making money, that is profitable, that you can sell products online, that is sustainable and lasts and has an impact. Before any of that is going to happen, you got to get these foundational things in order first. And many of these mindsets come through, whether it's through our family structure, religious structure, corporate America. There's all these structures that we've been within in our lives that have created toxic beliefs and patterns that we then project into running a business. And it just doesn't work. You cannot successfully build a business with the same pattern of existence that you did in another part of your life. I want to talk to if you're somebody that's maybe a caregiver, you're somebody that has taken care of people for a long time. That's been your job, is to take care of people. When you're in business, your job is not to babysit and take care of anybody in your business. It's just absolutely not at all. If that's the product that you're selling, great. In that place, you do that. You take care of people at the highest level. If that's what you're selling, if that's what you are delivering to people, some people that are running an agency business, you want to take care of your clients, but you're not there to babysit and make sure that they do their job for them. That's their responsibility. And when you show other people how to respect you by how you respect yourself, by the self-respect that you have, that you bring into a situation, it demonstrates to other people how to treat you. And so many of us, myself included, I've had to learn this over the last couple of years, so used to needing to manage other people's emotions, needing to make sure that, things don't play out in a way that we don't want them to, trying to control and maintain and do all the right things and be a nice person, nice enough that people like us, be nice enough that people trust us. Being nice doesn't build trust and rapport with people. It's very different than kindness. It's not about how you look to other people. It's not about projecting an image of trustworthiness. It's about actually being that way through and through in everything that you are doing. You know, I posted this on my social media, is that being nice to somebody and trying to make them do the right thing is actually the opposite of kindness or caring for people. And yet we think that that is what it means. It's not defined that way. And so if you're somebody that's in a business, you have a product or a service that's going to help people, that's going to impact them on a deep level. It's not your job to make sure that they do what they should. You bring the message, you're the messenger, and it's their job to choose if they're going to meet you at that level. Russell Brunson said this, is that as soon as you decide that I'm no longer going to go after people in business, that I'm no longer going to go after people. By the way, running Facebook ads is not going after people. And I'll explain this in a sec. As soon as you decide I am no longer going to go after people in business and care more about their success than they do, and you present yourself in a way that says, whether you want to or not, this is your invitation, you can come join us, this is what we offer, but you're not going out there trying to make people make a decision, your business will grow. And I've seen that happen as well myself. As soon as we give up the need to make everything perfect around us in our business, things start to grow. Procrastination stops happening. As soon as we give up the need for everything to be perfectly organized and done in the perfect way in our business, we start to execute on a high scale level that gets results and gets more sales. Now, when you're running an advertising campaign, you're using the algorithm to find who a target customer is, but you're still making it their option to click the link and to register. So when you write copy, that's still a passive activity. You're speaking directly to somebody, but you're speaking in a way that the ones that are meant for what you offer will buy from it. You cannot please everybody. You cannot help everybody. You cannot help make everybody do the right thing. It's just not possible. But what you can do is you can get very specific about who is the type of person that you want to reach, who is the type of person that you want to help, and help lead them down a path to take action to buy your product or service, which is going to transform their life, which is going to have an impact on their life, which is going to make their life better after they purchase from you. And so whatever it is that you sell, it's a solution to the problem that they have, which is why if you can discover the frustrations of your target customer, if you can discover what keeps them upset and angry and not happy, and you can start to create solutions for that, to offer that to them, it will have that level of impact. But it's their choice if they want to come to that level or not. I have people that I work with that I can lead them to water, but they're deciding they don't want to go there. They just don't. They don't see it. They think that water's not good, and that perfectionism is actually the real water of success. And I'm not going to help anybody that wants that type of hard life that is just constantly striving and struggling to be successful. If you want to be successful, we have to get rid of the need to feel prideful enough that we worked hard enough to be worthy of our success. I see people do this so often, is that they strive and work harder than they should because they feel like they're not worthy of success unless they do it at that level. They won't even ask for help or schedule a free call with me or schedule a coaching call or ask me questions on social media because they want to feel good that they figured it out on their own without asking. When we can humble ourselves enough to ask for help, when we can humble ourselves enough to say, hey, I need some help with this part of the process. and you find somebody that has successfully been there and helped other people do it, and you find somebody that has a track record that can perform and produce results because they've done it for years. I know every single person listening to this right now knows somebody in your life that has a track record to accomplish exactly what you're setting out to do. And yet you're not asking them for help because you want to feel good that you figured it all out on your own and you didn't need any help from anybody else. We have to lay down that pride and ego that won't ask for help. Start getting the help we need, even if that help that we got wasn't perfect. Even if the advice that we got wasn't perfectly what's going to get us to the finish line, it might just get us one step forward. And when we can do this, when we start to do this, when we start to boldly and courageously step out, to no longer need everything to be perfect before we take action, and we start taking action even when we don't have it all figured out, even when we don't know exactly how all the pieces fit together, even when we don't know exactly how we're even going to do it because we've never done it before, even when we don't know if we have a parachute, if we know how to build one on the way down. Still take those courageous leaps of faith. Still take those jumps. You know, a big thing that some of you guys can do, especially when it comes to technology platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Squarespace, is start clicking buttons. Start clicking around. Start pressing some of those buttons on the screen just to see what they do. You're not going to break or blow anything up, and it's not going to cost you a bunch of money. It's not. Just start playing around with that stuff like you're in a sandbox. Set up another account to play around with. So one of the number one things is tinkering around and messing around and wasting time messing around is actually going to be one of the number one things that's going to help progress you forward to get from where you are to where you want to be, because you're going to be able to take imperfect action to learn and to grow what you don't know right now to help move you forward in that place. Listen, for every minute that you sit around and overthink and overanalyze what's not working out and come up with all the 10 reasons why things are not going to work out for you, that's time wasted that you could have spent taking action, that you could have spent learning what you don't know, that you could have spent asking for help. It's time to get out of that cycle of rumination and overthinking. I'm somebody myself that has done this. I still do it. And when I catch myself doing it, I'm like, okay, no, I have to take control of my thoughts, self-control. The only thing you can control is yourself. Have total self-control. Okay, I'm not going to let my focus go there today. I'm going to do the thing that I know is going to help move me forward. And overthinking and sitting on the couch thinking of how it's all going to go wrong is not going to help me get there. Again, when I found some people that I could talk to about this stuff, getting therapy and having people that were wise, mentors that could help me, it accelerated everything forward. And if you're somebody that does not have a mentor in your life that can help you, especially when it comes to your business and getting sales online, I've helped businesses create 7 and 8 figures on the internet for the last 17 years. I'd love to help you with that. You can schedule a free 15-minute call with me on my website, or you can win a free 30-minute call with me by leaving hashtag #GrowYourLife on my Instagram, and we can talk. And if you're somebody that wants to purchase some coaching with me, that's also on my website. You can either buy an hour with me or a package of 8 hours. And we can help work with you to build your goals, to build the results, to build that vision that you have, and help put the pieces, the puzzle pieces, in the right order for you. Come alongside you every step of the way to help you reach your goals. All right? I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. But you have to make a commitment that I'm no longer going to stay in the old pattern that hasn't helped serve me, and I'm going to get some help, and I'm going to start to take imperfect actions, even if I've never done it before. Jump out of the plane without a parachute and create the parachute as you fall down. Start doing that in your business, and you will watch everything change and move forward for you. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.